Here now is Judge Andrew Napolitano, Fox News senior judicial analyst and judge. Of course, the key question, when President Trump tweeted out back in March that his campaign was being wiretapped, everybody said no. PolitiFact said it's a false story. CNN dumped on the story. They said it's nonsense. Does this vindicate that Donald Trump tweet back in March?
Well, I think it clearly does. I mean, Paul Manafort was a tenant in Trump Tower in 2014. And at that point, the FBI began surveilling him because of tips they got about his relationships with government officials in the Ukraine. Then he stays there as one of then Mr. Donald Trump's chief strategists. Then he stays there as one of Mr. Donald Trump's as his campaign manager. Then he's in and out even throughout the transition. So the issue is not was Paul Manafort being surveilled. That's a given. The FBI doesn't deny it. The issue was, what did they pick up from Donald Trump? Then the issue is, what kind of a warrant did they get? If they got a warrant from the FISA court, they can share that information with the West Wing of the White House, Valerie Jarrett and Susan Rice, who has admitted getting some of that information.
All right.
If the warrant is a regular Article 3, Fourth Amendment warrant, they got blinders on, they can't share with anybody. That's criminal information.
It's pretty obvious that at the time that Manafort was being wiretapped, he was in charge of a good part of the Donald Trump campaign, and there must have been some point at which Donald Trump called in to Manafort. So during those times, one can assume Donald Trump was being listened to.
Okay, so remember, this is not just a traditional wiretap. This is electronic surveillance. So that means your iPhone, which is right there. If we were not on television, we were just having a conversation in this studio, and you were the subject of electronic surveillance, that would pick up our conversation, even though we are not using it as a means to communicate. Also, emails and text messages that Paul Manafort sent to others in the campaign would be picked up. So the bottom line is, Donald Trump was correct when he complained about the Obama administration surveilling him, and almost the whole media that mercilessly mocked him was wrong. I'm waiting for the apologies today. Have you heard any?
Oh, no, not any? But it is still unclear the extent to which, if at all, President Obama knew about this, correct?
It is unclear.
Is there any way we could find that out?
Yes, they could put Susan Rice under oath and ask her to whom did she reveal the unmasking information.
Any chance that will happen?
Yes, there is a chance that will happen.
Who would be interviewing her during that? And I assume it would be during sworn testimony,
Chuck
right?
Grassley, the chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, who's somebody she doesn't want to be interrogated about over this. There are others that they will interrogate. Samantha Power, who, though she was the ambassador to the UN, and a diplomat, admitted she did unmasking. Now, how can a diplomat do unmasking? She's not in the intelligence community. Susan Rice was President Obama's national security advisor. She was at least arguably involved with the intelligence community, but his ambassador to the UN? So this is this is under the surface and ready to explode.
Now, Special Prosecutor Bob Mueller is looking into a lot of things other than Russia. Russia's investigated. He's looking into, some people even say he's trying to get the tax records of Donald Trump.
He has them.
Okay. So why shouldn't he be looking into something like this, where a previous administration might be interfering in some way with a party trying to run for office?
I don't know the answer to that, David, but I have encouraged him on the air to look into something.
He may be calling you right now.
No,
I don't know. This may be breaking news here. All right.
This is not him.
No, but is there any chance that Bob Mueller would be looking into this, or is he just determined just to get Trump?
I think he has crosshairs on Trump. And I think he's going to indict Paul Manafort and others around the president and try and turn them into government witnesses to have them spill whatever beans they may have about the president. Does he go into Susan Rice? Does he go into Barack Obama? Does he go into how General Flynn's conversation with Ambassador Kislyak, a transcript of it ended up in the Washington Post? Who knows?
Very quick question on sanctuary cities. Does the president have the right to deny federal funding to sanctuary cities? It's in legal limbo right now.
Answer no. Congress does. So when Congress amends that statute, they can stop funding to any cities that don't participate in cooperating with ICE. But Jeff Sessions...
That means, by the way, that no Democrats would vote for that.
Correct. Jeff Sessions, his heart's in the right place, but he can't rewrite the law. That's basically what the federal judge in Chicago last week said.
Judge Andrew Napolitano, great to see you, Judge. Thank you.